Hi guys, in this video I'm going to improve how I have improved the garden area. This is one of the how it looked like, pretty much all the areas that I have and what I have done to actually improve it. The cleaning that I've done and how in a process of doing that and making it look good, what I have done to actually avoid so that the weeds does not come out. It might still come out, but then I'm trying to avoid it as much as possible through some methods. And once the weeds are removed and cleaned up, what kind of things that I've done to actually make it look good. So, and then not just that, in the end of the video I'm going to talk about what are the other things that from the accessory perspective, what are the other things that I've done. So that to avoid a lot of weed coming out would be to, I'll show you here. There's a fabric that I have to install after cleanup. So this fabric and the mulch, I think we need more mulch here, so I'm gonna have to put it more. So it's going to actually avoid having as much of weed as before. You might still get a lot of weed. You might still get a weed up to like two. I think the way that I would be solving the weed problem would be just look out for any weeds that comes out as soon as possible. Maybe like when it grows to 2 inches, 3 inches, then I need to clean it up. So it's a continuous maintenance. So first thing first, like I said, there needs to be a fabric here. That's gonna help a lot with avoiding a lot of weeds coming out. And the second thing that you can do to improve your the garden could be having this mulch installed on top of it. You might need like how much would you need could be like 1.5 inches or 2 inches. So like I said, this one I need to, in this area I need more. I just realized that, so I'm gonna have to put more here. So the next thing you can do is well, you have the nice, you avoided the weed problem, pretty much cleaned it up, you added the mulch, so hopefully no more weeds. But then at the same time, for your area to look good, you need a better plants. So I already had like 3 of the plants here, like one here which was all over the place, so we just had to cut it to make it look good. Over here, that still looked good. I think it had less flowers, but now I see it's coming up. I see some of the flowers popping up. Looks so beautiful to me. There you go, that's another one. And then I like these two, very different colors. No flowers I believe, but then still looks pretty. I'm gonna show more actually. I have another place that I have added new plants, so I'm gonna share that area and the flowers there. Alright, same thing. New area, new plants, very different variety of plants, not just the same thing that I bought over and over. I did buy 3 different types of red rose. This is one other type, but then this is not exactly the same roses that you have seen just a few minutes ago. I love this one. This is my favorite. So when it comes up, it's yellow color, but then once it's out open, it changes the color to pink and white. Sometimes it's also yellow. So I love that combination. There you go. I love these. This will expand and go big, but not too big, but still initial stages. That's another one. It did look like this falling out of the pot, so I'm hoping this one has not died. I'll get to know more later. All right. Again, did the same munching, cleanup. A lot of cleanup here actually. It took a lot of time. This is another flower plant that we have bought. Yeah, this one is beautiful as well. Yeah. Okay, so while I was saying, like, when I made an improvement, I tried to keep the pretty plants still there, not cleaning it up. So what I mean is, this is the previously planted plant. So the idea here is to keep what looks good already, like these as well, like these beautiful plants, not clean those up. Don't take it out. Take out the weeds or the plants that you don't want, and then plant the new ones. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm looking for when I'm buying. So wherever you go and buy the plants from, it gives you a nice wording of what it does. I mean, basically, in this case, this plant blooms from mid-spring to mid-fall. Okay, that's not a bad, that you get like a good few months of flowers on it. It goes to a height of 1.5 feet to 15 feet. That's pretty cool. That's why I have planted this right here, so that in this area in the front I can plant like more lower height plants. So how much water does it take? Stuff like that. So these are the things that you should be looking for. And then I think one other thing that it's missing here, it should say that, or maybe it says it here, I'm not sure. How much sun does it need? I think full sun. There you go, full sun. So this area here gets a lot of sun, so that's why I have planted it here. I'm still learning about gardening, but then I think the more I look into it, the more I love it. So yeah, I think these are the basic things that when you buy, just don't blankly see it and buy it. I would recommend definitely read out what the description is, what kind of plant you are buying, how much water does it need, how much sunlight does it need, when does a flower comes and blooms, for how many months, stuff like that. If it works for you, go ahead and buy it. What kind of height does it it grows to maximum versus what's the range, are you satisfied with that range, stuff like that. Like this plant is big, it's beautiful too. It works for this area. What else you can do to improve your garden would be to have a nice bordering. There are different types of bordering that you can do. There's a lot out there in the stores. You can buy bricks, you can have one of these. These do come to, over the years, go misalign. So I kept, when I improved this area, I still kept the bordering the same borders, but I might improve that in future to actually make it look good and work with the brick pavers that I have here. One other thing you can do to improve your garden area would be to buy a nice garden hose. You need a lot of water, especially when your plants are young. And a day like today, where it's close to 100 degrees, is definitely a lot of water needed. So I have bought this garden hose. I already had one already, but the one I have here is very flexible, very easy to use. Um, it's very flexible, like you said. You can see it can fold very easily. I can carry it. It's very light, and it came with the settings, the usual settings that you see. You know, there you go. You can turn it on and off. So it's pretty cool. The one I had before was this. That's very hard to actually take it, use it. What I mean by hard is, um, it's very hard to carry. It's very heavy. And then if I'm especially taking the garden hose from this area all the way to that area, that's very far. Yeah, it's hard to carry that and then put it back when you're done. So I would highly recommend buying something like this, which is much more light, flexible, and easy to improve your garden area by buying this pot where you can actually use it to water the plants. um, you can find this on many of the nurseries. Very useful. You might still have the garden hose like I do, but I still use that pot. The reason why is because there are certain areas of the house where I have the garden, but the garden hose could not reach it. Even if it's way long, you might have like a 150 feet, 100 feet of garden hose, but you may not want to go all the way there with a garden hose to actually plant the water the plants. So I've used this, and what I noticed is when I'm using this, I'm using less water. And for the young plants that I have, I do need a lot of water for now, but later on I think I'll just stick to that. It's way more easier for me to actually water the plants. One other thing you can do to improve your garden could be adding solar lights. These are the ones which looks like fire at night, and these are solar lights, so obviously I don't need to plug in with anything in the outlet or stuff like that. This looks beautiful at night.